snowing. You see it?
I can see it. Shall we tell the folks what we're up to?
Uh-huh.
Hey folks, how you doing? Can't look at you, I've got to concentrate here. We're heading into Glen Affric. We've got the Teepee tent and the wood stove. We've got a lot of snow. This road is not gritted that often. It's not been gritted at all.
Do you see the animal footprint?
Yes. So we're hoping to get to our usual camping spot. It involves a fair climb. I do have my snow chains with me, so we might need to break them out to get up the hill here. We'll see how it goes. Just now we're rolling along just fine. And somebody, council I guess, has dropped grit all the way up here, but they've made no effort to spread it.
Is this the bridge?
No, we've
Not
got
yet.
a long way to go. This is the start of one of the climbs.
Oh yeah.
So, can the folks see?
It's going up, it's going up.
I don't mind going up, it's harder coming down. The tobogganing on the way down with the car. So we left Edinburgh, we were up at 3 o'clock this morning. We left Edinburgh before 4 o'clock. We had an early breakfast in Inverness, topped up with fuel, and so I'm sitting with almost a full tank of fuel just now, but I've also got 30 litres in the back as well as a compressor and a battery unit. Although I have a confession to make. I've got a glow plug on my diesel engine here that's not working properly, so the car is quite difficult to start in cold weather. I didn't have time to get it fixed, but I do have a little parabolic heater that in dire situations I can put it underneath the engine and heat the engine up from beneath, and hopefully it'll be enough to get us moving. Winter Wonderland, can you see that? Quite nice. Anyway, what was I saying? I was going to say what day it is, and the date is more pertinent. It's the 31st of December 2022. So, it's New Year's Eve, Hogmanay. So we're going for a Hogmanay hootenanny in the Teepee tent mo. So we can use the canoe to get the gear in, because I'm carrying a lot of wood for the wood stove. But to gain access to the water's edge, Loch Benavian, we need to drop down from this road very steeply on a gravel track. But like I say, I've got my chains for getting back out again, so we've never got stuck down there, have we, Mo? There's one year where it was touch and go because of the ice.
Well, touch wood. We'll be fine this year too.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
I think we'll just turn the camera off now,
Okay.
so you can concentrate on driving.
Alright, we'll check in with you in a wee while, folks.
Oh, here we go.
This is point of no return, Mo.
I hope we'll return in a few days.
We go down here, got to get ourselves back up. It's quite a long way. I think we'll go down. I think we're okay. Well, folks, we've got a break in the weather. It's supposed to be snowing today. It snowed most of the way along, but it's okay now.
Beautiful now. Look.
Yeah, I'm a bit out of breath. So I cleared the snow away. It's always the age-old question when you're camping in the snow. Do you just put your tarps down and the tent over the snow? Well, if I'm high altitude camping, usually yes, because digging down is just too much work. So I usually dig down deep enough to give myself shelter, but I'm not actually looking to get below the level of the snow to clean ground. But here, because I'm hot tent camping, I've got the big stove and it generates a tremendous amount of heat. And we're going to be here for a few days, and what would happen with the stove burning away and generating so much heat, the snow underneath the tent would melt and we'd end up sleeping in a quagmire. So although it's a big shift, we managed to get the snow shifted and we've got the tent out. So now I need to dive inside, set the poles up, and then we need to go and get the stove after that.
The tent is up! Woohoo!
More or less.
Woohoo! It's not tilted, is it?
Well, we can straighten up in a wee while. I've not put the pegs in on this side yet. I can't put the pegs in on this side until that pole's in place, otherwise it's too tight. So,
Look good.
we're nearly there. More pegs, and then
the tricky bit is the sleeve for the stove.
Yeah, it's always, that's because, partly because of my modification, so it's made it all very tight. The
fire apron.
And the modification is necessary because we run that stove so hot that we would scorch the tent if we didn't have that sleeve on it.
We certainly have a lot of food with us. I can't believe you we were worried that we didn't have enough.
I'm worried we might be here until the spring. Shouldn't laugh about that.
I'll hitch a ride with it.
Right, I'm just going to leave it at that just now, Mo. I'm going to go back and get the stove, and I'm going to get my big hammer.
Okay.
And
the axe is here.
Yeah, and then I can tension the tent up.
Okay.
We're getting rained on, but it's snow falling from the trees.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Whoa.
What's the chances I can get this up and over there, Mo? It's on the wrong side.
I'll give you a coffee if you manage.
Oh, that'd be nice. Oh. And it's a coffee, a cappuccino, a latte.
No, just a black coffee.
An espresso.
Just a black coffee, probably lukewarm.
Dang it. Okay. There's another bag of pegs.
The lighting is so beautiful. I hope the cameras can pick it up.
Cheap and cheerful pegs, folks, but they're really good for anchoring this big tent.
Remember,
We have some ground anchors for it, but
you remember one year we left one and we found it next year, the following year.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're littering the countryside.
We left one behind. We didn't even know.
This is my persuader.
What's that? It always reminds me of that cartoon.
Oh,
Flintstone.
Barney and Fred.
Yeah. What's their last name?
Flintstone.
Yep.
Fred Flintstone.
Yeah.
Barney Rubble, I think his name was.
Fred Flintstone, that's you.
Rubble is a good name for here because there's plenty of it under this tent.
It's not raining, it's just the snow on the trees start to melt with the sun. Oh, you're just gonna get all soaked.
It's coming down anyway.
After you pack this down, we have a coffee break.
Yep.
What time is it? Still not 12 o'clock yet.
Yeah, I need to get the fuel over. I need to tidy that stove up a bit as well. See that canvas sock?
Uh-huh.
It's not got enough
Oh, covering, yeah.
Covering it.
You need to
all in.
push it through a bit more.
Yeah, I think hopefully I can manage that. But,
Okay.
once I get the tent tightened up, then there'll be resistance against the push. Just now when I'm pushing it, the whole tent is just moving. Pull it tight again, Lisa.
You want some coffee?
Yeah, some coffee would be great. Oh,
That was a big shift, eh?
it's hard work getting all this stuff up the road, up at 3 o'clock. Actually, we were up after 3 o'clock. It was a wee bit later than 3.
I hope this coffee is still warm, but...
Let me try it. Oh, it feels hot actually, not warm.
Yeah, have a maple pecan plate.
Okay, I'm filming you. I'm sitting behind the camera. So that's the tent up, folks. The stove's in. It's coffee break. And then I need to turn this cold tent into a hot tent, so I need to go and get the wood across. I've got loads of wood with me. I don't take any dead wood from the forest. If you've watched the channel regularly, you'll know that we camp in this spot quite often, pretty much every winter actually, and we have done for a
So you can turn off now, it's all been done before.
we have done for a good number of years. But so I didn't film very much of putting the tent up, mostly because we love to camp under these birch trees, but despite the forecast for more snow, it's a glorious afternoon. Or is it still morning? What time is it?
It's morning.
It's still morning. It's a glorious morning, and the sun is warm enough to melt the snow that's accumulated on the birch branches. So constant dripping going on. I gave them a good shake and I got most of it off, but there's still a lot. I can't get the upper branches. So I didn't put the camera on too much. I've got the tent up. But what I will do, I'll ask Mo if she'll give me a hand this afternoon. I'll go and sort out all the wood and I'll get the stove and everything on, but I'll ferry the wood in on the canoe, so maybe get a wee bit of filming from shore if Mo doesn't mind, and I'll put a camera on in the canoe as well. Although I didn't bring a clamp for the canoe, so I'll just have to hand hold in the canoe. But for now, I'm going to have my pecan, whatever it is. What is it called?
Plate.
Pecan plate. Oh. Okay, and a cup of coffee, so I'll get back to you in a wee while, folks. Is it good?
Good.
It's excellent. This is not exactly roughing it, is it?
Hot tenting is not roughing it.
No, it is not. So we're going to stay here as long as the weather is like this, folks, but when it starts to get mild, there's going to be a big snow melt coming off these hills, and on Tuesday it's absolutely torrential rain. It's 90% plus chance of rain all day, so actually it might make it difficult to get out of here, not because of snow or ice, but because of flooding. We already passed one bit of flooding on the road. You warm enough?
Well, I'm look forward to the stove being lit. But do you want a banana?
Yeah, I'll have a banana. So we wear lined trousers in the winter, folks. So we're sitting here in the hot tent without any heat. There's just the empty stove sitting there. But we're fine and warm, partly because we've been exercising quite hard to get this camp set up, but also because we've got the proper clothing. So camping here for a few days in the winter is no great hardship.
Certainly not. Loading the boat, Dave.
Oh, this one's quite heavy. I've made myself a very, very expensive pulk. A sled for pulling your gear through the snow. Oh, Canadian thing. I'll put that there just now and I'll figure it out later. So, I'm hoping that I can do this without damaging my boat.
Well, if you damage it.
I get that other one, Novacraft.
Yeah. As soon as you chop this one up.
I need to hook this up to the car to pull it down there. I don't know if it's frozen or...
I'll give you a hand.
I might have to take some of the wood out of this. No wonder the car was puffing about going up the hills this morning, crossing these mountain passes. There's a lot of weight we had in it. Well folks, I've got a boatload of wood. You get on the water and get across. The camp is over there, a few hundred metres away, less than a kilometre, so it's not too bad. I'm going to paddle this round, get it up and stacked in the tent, and then I've got to paddle back again. I've got some water to bring in and a few other bits and pieces. I've got my electronics to bring in as well. Mo's standing behind the camera yawning there because she was up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get here. Mo's going to do a wee bit of filming from shore for me.
Yeah, let's just get it going.
I'm not going to take a camera in the boat this time, but I'll do a bit of filming from the boat as the camp progresses. Hopefully, if the weather stays good, that is.
It's beautiful today. It's perfect. No wind.
It's a bit icy at the sides here, it's a wee bit slippy. It floats.
Good. Try not to tip it.
In here. Beat you to it. I got here faster than you did. You had to hike through the trees. Wee Robin.
Hello, wee Robin.
Hello, wee Robin. We got some scraps for you later on.
Ooh.
Going on the boat. Come on in, up and on.
I've got biscuits and things.
Notice it's not got sugar in it. Right, now I have to hike all this gear up to the tent.
Up we go.
Up we go. I think I've filmed this before, folks, talking about how to get these little Pioneer wood stoves to light quickly. So I do the opposite of what you might expect. I put the big bits of wood in the bottom. I think I'm just going to put 3 in. That one's wet. That one's okay. And then I put my kindling on the top, and then I put some really small stuff on top of that, and I light it from the top down. And it seems to work well for me. Never have any trouble lighting the stove. I'll finish off with wee bits like that on the very top. Put one more, 2 more bits in. And I actually don't mind loading it up quite heavily to start with. My wee bits on the top. We have fire. You'll get warm in a minute more. I'm going to go back in the boat. You'll be a wee bit careful here, folks. There's some big patches of ice. A big section over there. Completely open water here though. Let me show you this little bay here, folks, with the hoar frost and the snow on the trees. The pine trees up above, isn't that bonny? Anyhow, I'm heading across in this direction here. The sun is strong and low. I've got it in my eyes from the sky and the reflection in the water. And my glasses are not very clean either. Squinting. Paddle back and see how Mo's getting on with the stove. I can see smoke through the trees there, so I'm guessing it's chuffing away. Got a breath of wind. some people say you shouldn't run your paddle down the gunnel like that, but if you've paddled for a whole day, then believe me, you'll use the gunnel for a little bit of leverage, especially J-stroking like this. You can just pop the paddle out at the back and finish the stroke using the gunnel for a wee bit of leverage. Not so nice when you're filming though, it makes a noise. I've got the tent just over my right shoulder there, but I need to paddle past it to find the takeout. A little gravel beach. The water level's reasonably high, but it's not as high as we've had it in the past. We often camp just in behind you folks, over your shoulder there on a, well, what can I call it? It's an island at certain times, but just now the water's not quite all the way around. So if this snow melts quickly, the water levels could rise quickly. There's my wee beach. Oh, I see it. Just going to turn a little bit because I mentioned earlier about the ice on the water. Excuse me. Well, the ice is drifting across, although it doesn't look very thick. It doesn't look thick enough to tip me out the boat. You'll hear it in a minute. I'm going through the very edge of it. You hear it? It's breaking up. There we are. We've got a nice steak to cook up, folks, so I need the fire pit, but I don't want to burn the tree roots, the birch tree roots. So I'm just making a wee stand for my fire pit. I think we're probably good there. Maybe being a wee bit higher here, but it's not too bad. I think I'm going to call it good at that. The kettle on, Mo? sitting here stuffing my face with panettone. Chocolate one.
Mm.
Is it chocolate? Yeah, it is. Definitely chocolate.
It's a tiramisu one.
No, tiramisu. And tea, lashings of tea. But it's absolutely roasting in here. I've been outside. Got the fire pit sorted. Raised up. I don't think are we going to put the fire on today? Probably not. Maybe.
No, tomorrow.
We'll need it tomorrow for cooking, but if we want it tonight for company, we'll see how we feel. We'll probably be in our sleeping bags by about 8 o'clock.
Oh, before that.
Before that.
Well, before that.
It's Hogman, eh? We have to see in the bells.
What time is it now?
I guess it's about 2, is it? Oh, look at that, 3 minutes past.
So I've been up for 11 hours already.
Yes.
My range is 14 anyway. So I'll be in bed in 3 hours.
Eat some of this tiramisu panettone. You'll be hopping around the campsite full of beans of panettone. Oh, I was looking for a tiny bit.
Look at the savage way he eats the panettone. It's just tearing it apart with his hands, not even using a knife to cut it.
How you're supposed to eat it?
Look at it, it's kind of, looks like it's been like mold.
Mauled by a rabid dog.
Mm.
I thought you were supposed to eat it like that.
Of course not.
Really?
You think the Italians invent this dessert to be eaten with like that?
You're shaking that camera about all over the place.
How much do you know about Italians?
They come from Italy.
And how do they treat their food?
Good question. How do you treat pizza and pasta? Tiramisu. Treat it well.
Yeah. And do you think they would eat their panettone like you're doing now?
Probably wouldn't eat it here either. I hope that's tiramisu that's on my hands.
Well, maybe mud.
Oh well. How much power is left in that camera?
Not a lot.
The folks have all gone to sleep hours ago anyway.
As am I.
There's not much daylight left, folks. I'm going to go for a wee late afternoon paddle. Get half an hour or so on the water. You gotta be careful getting into this boat. There's a thick layer of ice in the bottom of the boat. Pretty slippy. I want to paddle round this point, folks, to show you the setting sun. It's absolutely gorgeous this evening. That tree-clad hill there is the outlier of a little marlin that you can climb from Dog Falls a little bit further up the glen. Well, going back out of the glen actually, heading back towards Cannock. So I've got a nice sunset opening up over my right shoulder, but I'll paddle on a little bit and then I'll spin you around so you can appreciate it. It's going to be cold tonight. Let's spin you around a little bit. It's a beautiful and wild place. I've shown you the sunset there, but I've spun you around, but you'll see it again because I think that's me about done. I've got a few chores to do before dark, so I need to head back towards the camp. I've paddled this loch once or twice in the dark. Actually, I did a little bit of it on camera a few years back. Quite spooky. Paddling in the dark, not to be recommended. I can see the smoke hanging over my campsite. Deep snow on the big hills. I'll spin you around in a minute. I don't know if the camera is picking it up or not. You can hear a kind of distant rumble or roar. There's a burn comes down off the high ground there. I can actually see into the quarry. Probably a bit far away for the GoPro to pick it up. It comes down through the forest and it meets with another burn that's coming in from over there, and they join forces and then they plunge down through a wee ravine and then into Loch Benavian where we're paddling. And that's what the noise is. Oh, I can smell the smoke now. Let me turn you around. Can you see the camp, folks? What you cooking there, Mo?
Hey, just some sausages and some veggies and some noodles.
Sausages, veggies and noodles. You warm enough?
Yeah.
You still got your hat on? Did you have a nice rest this afternoon?
Yeah, it was needed.
Did you sleep actually?
Not really.
Just dozing.
Because somebody just being like noisy.
Noisy? Who's that? In a place like this? Is this filming lamp too bright, Mo?
Yeah. It's alright if I don't look at it. Stay out of my face.
Somebody left the batteries for the tent torches in the car.
Yeah, yourself.
It was indeed me. So I can turn this filming lamp down a bit actually. Oh yeah. I've got 3 of them with me, so we're not short of light. I'll switch the camera off and I'll see if I can find a spot to put it where it's helping you rather than blinding you. You hear the weather outside.
Mm.
The wind over the tops.
Mm.
Snowing quite hard. There's a fair covering of snow on the boat, on the canoe.
Mm.
We'll see what it's like in the morning. I think it's supposed to snow tomorrow as well. Mo and I have been listening to some tunes. I was explaining to her that when I sing, in my head I sound like sort of cross between Jim Reeves and Andre Bocelli.
So the next time when you sing, can I be in your head instead of rather than in front of you, please?
Yeah, most people say when I sing it sounds like your worst secondary school teacher drawing their nails down a blackboard. But anyway, in my head it sounds amazing. It's like smooth honey being poured onto warm toast.
Can I please be in your head next time?
I'm guessing you don't want me to sing to you anymore.
I'm still in front of you.
How many hours of 2022 do we have? Oh, it's almost exactly 7 o'clock, so we have 5 hours by my reckoning.
So that means I've been up for 16 hours today.
Yeah, that's a long time. You've brought in a lot of New Year's in Scotland now.
You sure have.
We brought in a lot together.
How many do you think? 10?
10, yeah. I'm just agreeing.
I don't know actually. Have we either of us been? I must be away during this time before. Have I?
Yes, and I had,
We were in China once.
yeah, we were in China together once
Yeah.
for New Year, and I had one New Year in China on my own. Actually, I've had several New Years in China. Do you want a Chinese New Year? It's not a Chinese New Year. a Xinnian, a New Year.
元旦.
Yeah, story. I was out on my bike. I was on holiday from the institute, and I loaded the bike up. I think around Christmas Eve, something like that, maybe the day before that. And I went. I was heading away in the direction of Guizhou province, actually, away down past the Stone Forest. You know where that is? You know where I'm heading? But then I decided that I wanted to be home, my home in China, at Jinjiang Daju Bian. I wanted to be back there for New Year. And I had a long way to go, hundreds of kilometres on my heavily laden bike, and it was cold. It was beautiful blue skies, but it was cold, sub-zero actually. So I got my head down and I pedalled and pedalled and pedalled. Anyway, long story short, I did make it back, but I was absolutely dead beat, and I got back into, you know, the Dienture Lake outside Kunming. So I was cycling the, what would that be, the south shore of that, and I knew that coming into Kunming at the southern end of the city that there was new McDonald's had opened, and it was a McCafe, so it had proper coffee and cheesecake and everything. So anyway, proper coffee, cheesecake, but you get the idea. And I think I did the last 100 kilometres on the strength of making it before McDonald's closed, so that I could have a load of burgers and fries and basically junk for my Hogmanay dinner. And I did make it, and it was in an area, it was a new area that was all being developed and built up, and it was a kind of fairly swanky area, to be honest, with office blocks and fancy housing and, well, apartment blocks. You weren't allowed to take bicycles in, the whole thing was pedestrianised, but I had my fairly expensive bike with all my worldly belongings, almost literally, when I was living in China. I had all my camping gear and basically everything on the bike, so there's no way that I was going to put it into the bike park. So I'd been in once or twice before, and I did the dance with the security guards and knew a couple of ways that I could kind of duck and dive and get past them, get my bicycle outside the McDonald's with a big plate glass window and lock it up there and then sit next to the window. So that was one of my Chinese New Years. But it was great fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that that New Year, because it was the end of a very long and fairly arduous trip through all that karst limestone. Beautiful, beautiful.
So you basically were dead beat.
Yeah, and starving hungry.
And starving hungry, and you had McDonald's.
Yes.
And you said it was great.
It was great. Yeah, actually anything would have tasted good. But you know, my accommodation was on the south side of the city, which was completely crazy because I worked on the north side of the city. Anyhow, my accommodation was there, and so I literally passed by this place, and all the other eateries that I liked in Kunming city were all in the city centre, so I would have had to cycle past my accommodation after being on the road for over a week, and go downtown and then try and find a place to leave my bicycle and get something to eat. Or I could have stopped in at my accommodation on the way past and left my bicycle in its secure location, which was right next to my bed. I took my my bicycle into my bedroom with me. It was the only safe place for it. And then I would have had to walk or get a taxi or a bus or something to downtown. So it made perfect sense for me to stop off on the way. But the only place was that McDonald's. I have to tell you, it tasted great. It was absolutely brilliant.
I'm regretting doing this segment handheld.
You're getting tired?
Yes, it's already 7 minutes. Almost 8.
Oh my goodness, so it is. We're getting closer to midnight. Would you like me to sing to you again?
Oh gosh.
You're just happy with the stories?
I'll keep holding this. As long as you don't think.
I've got loads of New Year stories. Here's a really quick one. I once spent the New Year in a tiny little tent at my Vango Force 10 Mark II, the one with the sloping roof, so it's only that high at the back, but high enough in the front to sit up with the A-frame. I was high on the slopes of Ben Nevis, not far from the summit to be honest, and I hadn't turned 18. I was probably 17, I guess I would be.
Are you disclosing criminal
Yeah,
offences?
I'm about to, because I had a can of beer. Because everybody, Hogmanay in these days was synonymous with alcohol. Well, maybe it is today in Scotland, I don't know. But back in the day it seemed to be. So I don't know how I managed to get a can of beer, because when I was 17 I looked about 12. I managed to get a can of beer from somewhere, and I drunk it, and it was awful. It was Tennant's Lager or something like that. It was absolutely terrible. Anyway, cut to the chase. After drinking an ice cold can of beer at almost 4,000 feet above sea level, below the summit of Ben Nevis on the 31st of December,
Peed all night.
I needed to pee, but when I tried to get out of the tent, the zips were frozen. I couldn't get out my tent.
So what did you do?
I made it.
What did you use to melt the zip?
I used my lips.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I don't believe you.
yes, there was no liquid spilled. I did actually manage to get out.
wouldn't believe you.
My grand plan was to be the first person on the summit of Ben Nevis on the 1st of January.
What's the point of that?
I have no idea. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Completely pointless.
I didn't have a winter sleeping bag, but I had 2 summer sleeping bags, and I thought, well, you know, how cold can it be? Well, the answer to that is very cold.
I guess back then you don't have the cloud.
Yeah, Mo sleeps in a sleeping bag that she calls the Cloud. It's my expedition sleeping bag that it doesn't actually have a rating on it, and basically you should be able to sleep pretty much anywhere in it.
Well, not in the tropics.
And not in the tropics. And if you can't,
Look at the booty it comes with. Maybe they can't see it. You can hold it.
you wear these down boots inside the sleeping bag. So
They're great.
they are. It's a great sleeping bag, but it's too warm for me. Even I think it's going to go down to about -7 tonight here, something like that.
I don't mind. I've got the cloud.
No, it's not going to be cold in here with the stove.
It will be in the morning when the stove goes out.
Yeah, I'll have to let the stove go out because it's absolutely full of ash just now, so it'll be toiling to keep it going until midnight, to be honest. It's been on a long time today.
We're not going to be awake till midnight. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I think we'll forgo the bells tonight. We'll hear them in our heads.
Yeah, like you're singing. It's already ringing in my head over and over again.
Okay, so you don't want me to...
How about this? If you ever reach 100,000 subscribers, you sing on camera.
I've already sung on camera.
Have you? Oh my god.
That's probably why I'm never going to reach...
Yeah,
100,000
probably.
subscribers, so. Okay, I can't keep this up for another 4 hours and 50 minutes, so we'll check in with the viewers again later. We'll just say Happy New Year now.
Yeah, I don't think I'll stay up that late.
Happy New Year, folks. You're going to get this about the
I'm already in bed.
3rd or 4th of January. So, but May 2023 bring you good fortune, good health. Good health is absolutely the most important thing. As healthy as you need to be to do what you want to do. So I send that as a wish for each and every one of you. Got butter frozen, Mo.
It was outside last night.
In the refrigerator.
Oh, forgot this. This was the starter.
Oh, for last night?
Oh.
Oh, okay. It's been outside all night, yeah? So it's some sort of salami or pastrami or...
It's that platter.
Oh, from the platter, yeah. I remember.
Italian sausages.
Morning coffee. And is that brioche bread you're using? French toast with brioche. Made with brioche bread. I'll move it around, the camera around a bit more. I've always got that stovepipe in the way. Are you having bacon on yours? I think I'm going to have banana. Have we still got loads of bananas? I was eating quite a lot of bananas yesterday.
I've got probably about 6.
Okay, plenty. So we're going to have a fairly relaxing New Year's Day here, folks. Let me turn the camera so you can see me. So we're going to have a fairly relaxing New Year's Day here, and what are we going to do? We're going to
eat.
We're going to eat, yeah. We're going to cook up. We've got that big steak to cook up. We'll probably cook up before dark, Mo, but I think we'll cook it on the fire pit. If the weather settles. It's supposed to be snowing and sleeting all day. Well, snowing actually all day, and then getting milder as the evening creeps in, and then milder overnight, and then tomorrow the rain comes in at about, what time does the rain come in? Can you remember? About midday, I think. So we might, maybe, if we're lucky, we might be able to break camp and get out of here before the heavy rain comes. But when the heavy rain comes, that's it for about 36 or 48 hours. There's a lot of rain on the way, so I guess it'll see the back of all this snow. There might be a bit of flooding here and there. So an easy day, cooking, eating. I might put the boat on the water for a wee while. It's not very easy filming when the weather's like this, but I'll see if Mo will do a little bit of shore filming for me, just with a GoPro.
Put some wood on.
Oh, I've got my instructions here. The fire's not warm enough to cook the eggs. I better get to it, folks. I'll get back to you in a wee while.
Good cooking shot. There's no sizzling sound.
Livened up the stove a bit for Mo's cooking. She's complaining that there's no sizzling sound for the cooking shot. I need to heat the top of the stove a little bit. It is cooking though, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, cooking very slowly.
Yeah. Well, I just put a couple of logs on, they're burning well. It won't take long for that stove to get hot. So we're going to pop a wee bit of chocolate. I've got a tiny wee bar of chocolate on my bananas. These bananas will caramelise anyway and go quite sweet. So actually they might not need the chocolate on it. What do you think? Will that waste it?
Oh, let's try it.
Okay, it looks like we're trying it. So brioche bread with eggs and milk.
Yo!
Um,
No.
Caramelised bananas with chocolate bar wrapper and a cup of coffee.
Looking forward to the maple syrup.
The maple syrup's the best bit.
Maybe you should go and drive to the nearest store and see if they have one.
In January the 1st. Good luck with that, going into Canic stores. Wake them up.
On a Sunday as well.
On a Sunday. Excuse me, do you have any maple syrup? Not happening. When I was living on the Yulong Mountain, though, I used to, if I had chocolate, I used to just cook it up, because it was in the winter anyway, because it was so cold there that you couldn't eat it. It was absolutely solid. Well, that doesn't look too bad. You want the other glove? Are you calling the brioche just about done?
Yep.
You want to take mine out before you put your bacon in?
Yeah.
Is it not ready yet? Give it another minute, I don't mind.
Do another minute.
Get some bacon juice in it as well.
down the other side as well.
Okay. Well, folks, that's my breakfast. The chocolate and banana might not look so good, but boy, does it smell good. It smells absolutely delicious. So, and Mo's got some bacon on the go. Might have a piece of bacon as well. I'm going to get stuck into this though. Did you remember knives and forks? Or a spoon? Or is
Spoon
it
and fork.
spoon and fork?
Spoon and the plastic fork.
Right, a plastic fork. I might I'll manage with a spoon, I think.
How's the food, Dave?
Oh, hot.
No, I need to take my jumper off. It's too hot in here.
A little bit hot.
Is the banana really weird?
Banana's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it should be caramelized like syrup.
With maple syrup, it would be sugar overload. It's perfect, honestly. I'm not saying that to make you feel better. It's very, very good.
Alright, I'm gonna go have my one with the bacon.
How's your breakfast, Mo?
Good. Actually, the chocolate bananas are nice.
We might have the stove a little bit too hot in here. That bottle was sitting there, and I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but we melted the plastic bottle. I think the one next to it's also looking a bit melted, Mo. I know that one's melted because I picked it up, the cold water. Burnt my finger. Anyway, back into my breakfast.
I had to take a top off, it's too hot.
Yeah. That was hot when I picked that bottle up.
Use your gloves.
My gloves are drying out from this morning. There's one missing. Where is my other glove? Have you got it? Pop it underneath. Are you chilling out in there? I'm going to take the boat down to the water. I'm going to go for a paddle. Oh, my PFD's in the tent. I'll come back and get it in a minute.
So we're going to cook dinner soon. This is Dave is outside setting the fire up. I've chopped the veggies into chunks. You've got onion, pepper, courgette, mushrooms, and tomatoes. And I've chucked a few of the leftover sausages from last night. And then I've got a steak, which is not that big. I normally order from a butcher, but this year I couldn't get a delivery on time for the camp, so I had to pick one up from the supermarket. But it's about 600 grams, so it's not a big steak. Well, I guess we won't have any leftovers for tomorrow. So I've seasoned the veggies with some salt and pepper and some all-purpose seasoning. Actually, Korean ones. Koreans call it beef powder. I don't know why, but it's just basically a all-purpose seasoning. So this is a mixture of salt, pepper, and that all-purpose seasoning. So I'm just gonna season the steak, and Dave set up this little heater for me because we'll let the stove go out, and hopefully, well, actually this steak is nicely defrosted, so it has a good color to the meat. It's got a tiny little bone, so it's not a tomahawk, but it's still going to be flavorful because of the bone. If you look at this side, it's actually pretty thick. I think it's going to be enough for me. Dave can have that. Hello. The steak and veggies are ready. Look. Look.
Look what I've got. Oh, that looks very nice.
It's all defrosted nicely, so it's fine. Yeah, it's ready for the fire whenever you're ready.
Oh, it needs a wee while for the...
Oh, and also...
I was talking about the parabolic heater more, so...
so roasted sweet potato. Plus...
I'm filming, you filming the food.
Roasted potatoes. I think I've got 4 potatoes. I don't think we won't need them all.
Is that heater giving off?
This is the New Year's Day dinner, so better do it well. It cooks evenly.
So that's olive oil that's in there, Mo, yeah?
Actually, it's a mixture of olive oil and sunflower oil.
Mixture. Why was that? Is that just because it's what we had?
No, because if it's pure olive oil, it's gonna all go solid in the cold.
Oh, right, okay. Good thinking, girl.
Are you new to camping?
Relative novice. We're all still learning. Every day's a school day. So that's a modest sized tomahawk this year.
I explained it to the folks.
Did you? Oh, okay. I'll just.
I couldn't get the delivery from the butcher I normally order from, so I picked one up from the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
Is that?
I've had that before.
Okay. Is the wok hot enough?
Yeah.
It didn't take long to go on the sizzle.
Time to flip.
Oh, that looks good. Is that wok level enough for you?
Yeah.
It does smell amazing. Are you eating it already? It's still raw, Mo. You're a bear.
That's fine.
Chewing on raw meat.
When are you going to roast my potatoes?
I'll put them in afterwards. Or do you want them with the meal? Well, I guess you need to let that rest a wee while, so we could put them in and then put the veggies on top of them. Put them in the oil that you're using for the meat.
Yeah.
Phone's there.
No, it's not ready yet.
What's the hands? You need some more oil in there, or is that
No.
enough?
I've got oil in here, in the pot. People think we're feeding a village. Forget, it's fake.
Do you think the robin will eat that?
I thought robins eat meat. We can try it.
We do, yeah. Put it there. Pop the potatoes down a bit now.
No, it's fine. Oh yeah, if you want.
So I'm going to show the folks the 3-tier cooking system that we've evolved. We have the veggies in the wok cooking slowly on the top, well not that slowly, but there's some meat in there as well, so we need to cook it thoroughly. And then underneath that we have a tripod of potato and sweet potato wrapped in tin foil. So they're cooking on the coals, but they're also getting the heat thrown back down from the wok. So that's level 2, and on level 3 in the oven here we have the meat warm and resting.
I'll put this tray down there.
Oh,
It'll be
okay.
our serving tray, and it will sterilize it down there.
Okay, so now we've evolved our 3-tier cooking system. More in our element.
Seriously, meat on the bone is the best.
It's quite delicious. What we're doing with the potatoes, we'll have them later. I think this is enough to be going on with. There's potato in there, isn't there? I see it. Well, that's fine for us serving just now, Mo. I'll work away at that. Let me show the folks my...
Oh, there's the peppercorn sauce, but I don't think you need it.
Oh, I might try a little. Is it...
Over here.
Do we need to heat it, yeah? Well, we'll do that. Maybe for seconds then. So I have T-bone steak. No, it's tomahawk steak.
No.
No.
It's the short. Oh, there's Robin. Oh. It's the short bone version.
I don't know. The camera's too small. Hello, Robin.
Hello, Robin. Are you here for our dinner?
Okay. Sorry. Anyway, it's steak of some sort, and then chipolata sausages and mixed stir-fried veg. So I'm going to tuck in before it gets too cold.
Oh, picked up a bit of bread and threw away. Let it be.
Well, that was a truly amazing meal, Mo. Well done. The stove is on, the wood burner is on in the teepee behind you there, folks.
We ate it all.
We ate that. Yeah, we ate that entire meal. Can't believe it. The sweet potato was absolutely glorious, almost as a dessert at the end. It was so soft and sweet. Anyway, the tent is heating up. We've got the stove on, but it'll take a few minutes, so we're just enjoying the fire here. But I'm going to keep the wood stove fed tonight, but also the fire, because if it's a nice night, I'll come out and I'll have a wee wander around and then heat myself at the fire. We would like to stay longer, but common sense says that we should get out of here tomorrow because there's some pretty horrible weather coming in. Not camping weather, just wet and miserable. So, how you doing there, Mo?
Nothing really. Listening to music until you told me to shut it down due to copyright issues.
Yeah, we can't have the classical music on our videos without permission. Who was it? London Philharmonic Orchestra that we were listening to?
Nope.
Who was it?
One of them is London Symphony.
Symphony Orchestra. Right, okay.
Among other things.
Amongst other things.
How would you describe your taste in music?
Eclectic.
Very.
Yeah, mostly John Denver.
Mostly hectic.
Mostly hectic and not so much eclectic. Okay. The stove has been absolutely rocking tonight, folks. It's roasting in here. I'm sitting with my wellies on because I've just been out for a walk. I don't know if you can see that. But I've got my filming lamp on. But actually, I'm still on the same battery. I brought 3 batteries for that, Mo. I'm still on the same one. It's bitterly cold outside. The fire is burnt down. We went for a hike after dinner. We didn't take the camera with us. It was dark actually. Although we did hike without the aid of a torch. It's a moonlit night and the hills are looking just spectacular in the moonlight. The snow reflecting all the light. So it looks dark in the low ground with the forest and light on the high ground with the open snow-clad hillsides. Really bonny. So we've got a lot to do tomorrow to break camp. It's not that much. We've got a bit of hiking to do to get all the gear to the car, and then we've got to get up and onto the road, and then we've got the long haul down the road. It'll be okay. We'll stop someplace. I don't know what shops will be open tomorrow, but we might be able to get a bit of lunch someplace on the way down to break the journey. We'll see how we get on. So I hope you've enjoyed this one, folks. Thanks as ever for tuning in. Very much appreciated as always. And I look forward to getting back to you on the next one. And I've said it several times during this video, but I'll say it again. Happy New Year to you all. Stay safe, folks. Bye for now.
Bye!